welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC Wildcard game. This will be taken in at the 1. Kirk Cousins, the 31-year-old quarterback in his second season with the Vikings, bringing them out the rest of this offense. And it's also the first time that Kirk Cousins has quarterbacked a team to double-digit victories. The Vikings reaching that plateau for the second time in 3 years after winning 13 back in 2017. But for Kirk Cousins, the numbers have been good. Second straight year on track to top 70% completion-wise. Also the fewest amount of interceptions that he has had. And when you consider he's been playing a large part of this season without his Pro Bowl wideout Adam Thielen, makes the numbers that much more impressive. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And what a tough environment to roll into. On the road, playing one of the better teams in the league, obviously, because this is the playoffs. So what do teams talk about? Bringing their own momentum, bringing their own energy on the road, because you know you won't get any from the home crowd.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. A look now at the defensive starters for the Saints. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you can tell by this team. All right? Anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple touchdowns. We got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team along.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. To throw, Cousins. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Breeze. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 22 yards there, a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Set, 95-56. So we got man.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. On the check down, he finds Kamara. This will be first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming. Brees going to try and throw on third down. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Every possession in the postseason magnified, and look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They just did manage to sneak into the playoffs as a 6th seed, so it's a tough road ahead. They would need to win 3 games on the road in January, but there's 20 other teams who wouldn't mind being on that road.
You're exactly right about that. But your point about how daunting this is well taken, because it all depends on their mindset now. How do you break it down so that you're not looking at this whole big road and say to yourself, we've got no shot? You break it down to this game right now, win that one, then worry about the rest of them after that.
And that's exactly right, and the staff told us that. They've been focusing with the players on don't look ahead, but that's hard to do sometimes, is it not?
It is hard to do because the ultimate goal is to do what? Is to win a Super Bowl. So you have to look ahead a little bit, but you make sure you focus on the game at hand.
And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. CD, let's take a step back and look ahead to the Saints in the playoffs here as they get ready for this next drive. Another double-digit win season for them. What do you think of their prospects come playoff time?
I think they're excellent because Drew Brees is back in form. I got to see him late in the season at home against San Francisco, and he's magnificent in that game. Brought them back from down late in the game, gave them a chance to win, put them ahead with less than a minute on the clock, so it wasn't his fault they didn't win that game. He looks like the Drew Brees we expect, but the big reason is their defense. Their defense is as good as there is in the league, rushing the passer, defending against the run, covering everything downfield. Bottom line, though, they are built to win at home in the playoffs. Since Sean Payton's been the head coach, they're 7-4 at home in the playoffs. A lot of people would say, well, it should be 8-3 because of what happened against the Rams last year, but still 7-4. But on the road, just 1-7, and that's excluding the Super Bowl, which was a neutral site game.
And don't forget, good job by Teddy Bridgewater bridging the gap when Brees was out. 5-0. Brees now on first down. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Push it back. Push it back.
On 2nd down and 4, Brees. And his pass incomplete. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara. And it's 3rd and 4. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Working from the gun, it's Brees. Open man is Michael Thomas. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Viking 16.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. Into the red zone, it's Breeze. It's caught, Smith. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. They'll run it with Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Now the Minnesota Vikings coming back out as they get the football here. It's been over 4 decades since the Vikings played in the Super Bowl, and you don't know if this is going to be the year that they get back. But there has not been a lot of talk about this Minnesota team. A double-digit win season and a lot of good teams in this conference. And I feel like they're a little bit under the radar. But top 10 in both offense and defense. You got dynamic players on both sides of the football. And we'll see what this Minnesota Vikings team can do down the stretch if they can make a little noise. One thing's for sure, they've been very good at home this season. On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kiko Alonso. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Breeze going to throw. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
To throw is Breeze. Thomas has got it. Complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
CD, with that incompletion, let's talk AFC playoff picture. I think you and I agree that if you put together any sort of power rankings, we'd put Baltimore number 1, certainly in the AFC. But you look ahead to the playoffs getting started on January 4th. Who do you see as their main competitor for that Lamar Hunt trophy?
Well, tradition and us not wanting to be wrong dictates that we say New England next, and rightly so because of the number of...
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Britton Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Looking to throw again on second down. Brees. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
95-56, 95-56. Come on, D.
And that is it on the clock here. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is Kamara. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards, good for the Saints, first down. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC Wildcard matchup as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's the first of 2 games here on this Wildcard Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's NFC Wildcard game. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's action. As for our game, it has been very one-sided in that first half. But you can't take anything for granted in playoff football. As we send you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. One of these 2 teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The run there on first down, going to get him 5 up to the 30. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Brees to throw. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Brees now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Kamara. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Now Brees on 3rd down. And Gibbs got it. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right. That is caught. Traquan Smith. Touchdown, Saints. Traquan Smith, 48 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. But look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division. But they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game. A message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, when the second half comes, you know.
Now they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. Call it a gain of 5. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either. I
think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for a second down. Now Breeze. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game as his guys continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now this throw caught left side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. They go play action here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and that'll bring up second down. With that incompletion, Charles, one of the big storylines in the final few weeks of the season lies in the AFC South. Tennessee and Houston battling back and forth. Houston won round 1, week 15, a victory in Nashville. But which of those two teams do you think has the potential to go deeper in the playoffs?
Well, Tennessee just lost at home to Houston, and now we'll have to go on the road to play them again in week 17. So I would say, on the surface, you would think Houston. They have the quarterback as well in Deshaun Watson that scares everyone. But I'm picking Tennessee as the team that could go deeper because of their defense. That's really a top 5 defense on any given Sunday.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. The tight end Josh Hill was the target. That'll bring up second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. 1 quarter remains in this NFC Wildcard matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Saints on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. William Hayes, the pride of Winston-Salem State, coming in to drop him.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Cousins throw complete to Thielen. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And a pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Cameron Jordan giving him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Too little, shoot.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 3-yard line.
Again, it's Kamara. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. The 40, the 20, 10, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. This is fielded at the goal line. And they will be backed up deep as they'll have to start the drive from the 6-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 11-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, it's Cook. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple of yards short of the first. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
They'll run for it. Cook. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Bree's going to throw here. And this is Cook with the ground. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And I know it's hard to find solace on one side when the season ends, no matter where it ends, but especially in the playoffs because there's all that build-up to the moment. But I would imagine the post-game locker room speech, it'll have a pretty positive spin.
It should. They've made a heck of a run to get to the playoffs and have that chance to advance, even though they didn't. But you're right about how much it's going to hurt because when you work that hard to get this far, it hurts just a little bit more. No matter when your season ends, it's a downer. But in this case, even more so because you had your eyes on the big prize, which was the Lombardi Trophy.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.
ladies and gentlemen.